What's going on? I'm Cultaholic.com, and today I'm going to jump into this chair in front of me. This is for the gigolos and the gigolettes. Do not try this at home, and I hope you like it. Flip this poo! Ah! Ah! WTF! Bon qui, je m'appelle Ross Twiddle from Cultaholic.com. You are a sexual wank pheasant, and welcome to all the WTF moments from 2 out of 3 falls, where we take a look at all of the weird and wonderful things that happened during 2 out of 3 falls. Do you like 2 out of 3 falls? Because I love 2 out of 3 falls. You know, when I tune into SmackDown Live every single Tuesday, what's the one thing I simply can't get enough of? It's 2 out of 3 falls. It's a good job then that last night's SmackDown Live kicked off with 2 out of 3 falls matches being booked, because everybody knows that when you book something time and time again, like a 2 out of 3 falls match, that makes it mean all the more every time it's used. Shane McMahon's a genius. Now we kick things off with Colonel McSwattyblocks, and I've got one question to ask. Did Shane McMahon, who of course is the best professional wrestler in the world today, who isn't even remotely moist there in what has to be a world first for Christ's sake, really stand out at the start of last night's SmackDown Live and claim Roman Reigns called upon the help of The Undertaker on this week's Raw? Is he really suggesting that Roman Reigns got out the dog and bone and called The Undertaker? Is he suggesting that Roman Reigns has The Undertaker's phone number? Is he suggesting that The Undertaker, the dead man himself, actually owns a mobile phone? Yes, I still cannot accept The Undertaker has Instagram and Twitter, for Christ's sake. I don't know why, but when I heard Colonel McSwattybollocks say that at the start of last night's show, I was all like, what the hell, no, hold up, because I thought it was weird. I, for one, believe that The Undertaker's motives for that attack on this week's Raw are different to what Colonel McSwattybollocks was claiming, and we'll find out what they are in the weeks to come, boys and girls, so keep watching. First and foremost, before we get into this point here, I need to say that I believe Samoa Joe should be given all of the titles in WWE today, because as we stand here in June of 2019, Samoa Joe is the total package. The graps, the speaking, the sweating, the perving on other superstars' wives, Samoa Joe is the best at everything and the best all-rounder in WWE today, and quite frankly, the way he's been used on the main roster to date has been a piss take, and I hope it gets better. However, into the kayfabe terms we go, because in the kayfabe terms, looking at professional wrestling as a super serious sport, and these superstars as real human beings, Samoa Joe lost the United States Championship on Sunday at Stomping Grounds, where we kicked ass and took all of the names, yeah! The United States title, of course, is a secondary championship in WWE, and a championship that has been deader than dead for so long, yet one attack on Kofi Kingston on this week's Raw later, and Samoa Joe has somehow wrangled his way into a WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules next month. Do you remember the days when WWE superstars had to proper earn WWE Championship matches through convoluted storylines and compelling acts of fortitude and whatnot? Because I do, and they're long gone, aren't they? Once again, I love Samoa Joe, so I don't know why I'm really complaining, but from a pure storytelling standpoint, his reasons for being in that match are bollocks, aren't they? Now, even though he has lost 2 massive WWE Championship matches in a row, and even though he is Dolph Ziggler, a man whose character has been buggered since Survivor Series of 2014, Dolph Ziggler arrived on last night's SmackDown Live and claimed that WWE management believe in him more than they do Kofi Kingston. Yes, Dolph Ziggler reckons that WWE management, the same WWE management who he has moaned at endlessly for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 25 years, believes in him more than they do Kofi Kingston. And what's more, he was talking about the company believing in him more than a superstar like Kofi Kingston, who recently celebrated 1,500 days with any WWE title on his shoulder. When they put a title on you, that means they believe in you, Dolph, apparently. How on earth can Dolph Ziggler, when he stood there being Dolph Ziggler, say to any superstar in WWE, maybe EC3 and maybe the Ascension aside, the company believes in me more than they do you? Get in the bin, Dolph, you Nikki 6 nonce. Ziggler against Kingston in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, WWE, I fully understand if you do not want your wrestlers wrestling during commercial breaks when only the people inside the arena can actually see what's going on inside the ring during the commercial breaks, but for Christ's sake, man, you cannot book 2 out of 3 falls matches like they're going out of fashion. Back in my day, 2 out of 3 falls matches, one of the stipulations used to culminate a rivalry. When things got so bad, you needed to rely on a 2 out of 3 falls match because that would determine who is the better superstar once and for all. Now these stipulations, quite frankly, are like the local bike because everyone's had a wrestle in them. That's how that saying goes, isn't it? But you know what I'm trying to say, don't you? And next up we have a little moment where Big E was eating saltine crackers while Dolph Ziggler was being a salty little batch on the Titantron ramp waiting. It's the little touches from Big E that proves he's on a different level to us all. One Cultaholic signed at last night's show in Portland, Oregon. Thank you very much to Stephen V. Soderbergh. That's a long name to remember for spreading the good name of Cultaholic throughout the WWE universe. Next time you go to a show, do what the Soderbergh did. It's me, it's Huskus the Pig Boy as the puppet stalking continues, and it's fantastic. Even more so because Huskus the Pig Boy is a pig. He is made from pork. That's right, isn't it? And bacon and other meats. And he is stalking Daniel Bryan, who hates people who eat Huskus. I love Huskus, me. I'd eat them all day. So imagine the irony then, when on next week's SmackDown Live, we'll see Daniel Bryan taking a shower, the camera will pan round a bit, and we'll see Huskus the Pig Boy, and Huskus the Pig Boy will murder Daniel Bryan in the shower, which is ironic, of course, because Daniel Bryan doesn't like to see animals getting killed to be eaten. But then, 2 weeks from now, on SmackDown Live, Huskus the Pig Boy will be shown eating Daniel Bryan meat. He writes itself, doesn't it? The Miz against Elias in what kind of a match, boys and girls? 2 out of 3 falls, yeah. And I don't know about you at home, but I'm starting to think this no wrestling during commercial breaks, damn it, what a real sport, and the real sports don't do the sport during commercial breaks. So why should we? I'm starting to think this new rule by Vince McMahon that he's apparently brought in over recent weeks isn't going to work, because how many 2 out of 3 falls matches is too many 2 out of 3 falls matches? I'll tell you, in my opinion, if we're getting more than 1 2 out of 3 falls matches a month on Raw and SmackDown Live, that's too many. Now, I've done no research for this claim, but I think if you look at this week's Raw and SmackDown Live and last week's Raw and SmackDown Live, we had a 2 out of 3 falls match on each of those shows, with 2 on last night's SmackDown Live. Madness. And what's more, it's just making that sweaty, delusional, grey old man up there looking more of a dick than he already is, because in the kayfabe terms, he's the one booking this same stipulation time and time and time again. Unless, of course, it's a kink and it's out of control. Picture, if you will, Shane McMahon and his lovely wife at home. They're going for some hibbity-dibbity in the bedroom, and Shane's like, wife, let's have a 2 out of 3 falls match, but I must win because I'm the best in the world. That's something that happened. Made a grave mistake. And next up we have Corey Graves pulling some Scott Steiner-esque mathematics out of his tattooed arsehole by claiming that if Dolph Ziggler gets added to the WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules, it lessens Samoa Joe's chances of winning the title. And I'm asking, how the hell have you worked that out, Corey? If Dolph Ziggler gets added to the match, that means, Corey, he's in the match, and everybody beats Dolph Ziggler. He's an actual egg. All Joe would need to do would be throw Kofi Kingston out the ring, pin Dolph Ziggler. I reckon I could pin Dolph Ziggler at this stage. No, I don't really, but you know what I'm saying. And Joe would be WWE Champion. Piece of piss. Dolph Ziggler's a wank rag. In the kayfabe terms, of course. It's a story we've been told over many years, as he's lost more matches than I have friends. Oh. A match that took place on this week's SmackDown Live that was not a 2 out of 3 falls match. I don't know what that means, but it's weird, isn't it? So just run away. The end is nigh, the end is nigh, time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh. Now, isn't it weird how Roman Reigns, who is of course a WWE SmackDown Live superstar, he works for or on SmackDown Live. He has a blue dabba-dee dabba-die identity card in WWE. Isn't it weird how he didn't appear on SmackDown Live, but he did work on Raw? Now, of course, this is presumably because Roman Reigns is in Japan on this WWE tour that's taking place in Japan, but the commentary team never announced that once. Yes, Alexa Bliss has gone to Japan, but Roman Reigns, who knows where he is, where a dog pound. But when Colonel McSweaty Bollocks and Elias were beating down the Miz by using Roman Reigns' spear and Roman Reigns' ooh-ah and all of that, I can't have been the only one asking, where the hell's Roman Reigns? and he wasn't there. Just like me da. Now I'm confused here, boys and girls, because the same fans who were chanting Shane is awful and no more Shane were booing when Elias won that 2 out of 3 falls match on last night's SmackDown Live, meaning that The Miz didn't get another match against Shane McMahon, which means we're getting less wrestling involving Shane McMahon than we would have if Elias lost that 2 out of 3 falls match on last night's SmackDown Live. You don't like Shane, but you were booing the fact that we're getting less Shane wrestling than we would have if Elias didn't win. Logic. You chant no more Shane, but you boo when we're given no more Shane. He's alive! I thought the United States title itself had turned into a murdering psychopath. Hey now, I saw a film once upon a time about a rubber tyre that literally killed people by being a rubber tyre that shaked and whatnot, like Otis Dozovic. So it's not so far-fetched the US Championship would do the same now, is it? And ended Shinsuke Nakamura's life. First of all, I am very happy that Shinsuke Nakamura is alive and well. And second of all, I'm overjoyed that we're getting NXT Mark II for the Intercontinental Championship. But again, if you look at things from a pure storytelling and kayfabe standpoint, Shinsuke Nakamura has been nowhere near to doing anything of note in WWE for a very, very long time. But on last night's SmackDown Live, we were led to believe that Shinsuke Nakamura was merely walking down the corridor when he heard Kayla Braxton ask Finn Balor, Finn, who's next challenger for the Intercontinental Championship? Shinsuke obviously thought to himself, bugger me, now's me chance. I'll swoop in there and be all seductive and say, too sweet bro, and all that malarkey, making me the new challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. But again, like Samoa Joe, who cares? These are the matches we want, so shut up Ross, am I right? Aye. But now that Shinsuke Nakamura has been found safe and well amidst the rumours, started by me, and only me, that United States Championship killed him, can somebody let me know that my Bane Spirit Animal Rusev is alive and well, because I'm very worried. You might have missed it, I didn't miss it. I'm pointing it out for you because I don't know what else to say about it, but the rabbit's there in the background of that shot. Now, I'm sure that WWE clearly misunderstood when fans were saying they wanted Sonya Deville to turn on Mandy Rose. WWE, they wanted Sonya Deville to cast Mandy Rose off to one side, not actually, flick her switches and turn her on in a literal sense. But to steal something directly from the boys over at OSW Review, there was a little hint of lesbian pal in there now, wasn't there? But could WWE be on the brink of creating a mega heel in Mandy Rose, who had Sonya Deville fall in love with her, because she's Mandy Rose, God's greatest creation, only for Mandy to use Sonya before turning on the Pride Fighter in WWE and, being a dick to her and whatnot. Could they be doing that? I don't know. But the hints there, they're strong, aren't they? But Ember Moon, you wee bonny Scottish lass, I feel sorry for you. You had your switch destroyed by Sonya Deville, then you had a match with Sonya Deville, and you lost, thanks to Sonya, kind of cheating, thanks to Mandy. So that's a story of bullies always prospering. And of course the show ended with a lovely match once again, where thank God Dolph Ziggler lost. Could you imagine, for Christ's sake, if this nightmare continued? I know he's a good wrestler, but the character, it's long gone, it's dead. He lost to Kofi Kingston, meaning that Extreme Rules match is still Kofi against Samoa Joe, and that's what it should be. But before that, Aleister Black, if you want somebody to come into your room, there's one thing you need to do, pal, and that's put the address of that room on Twitter. In fact, do not do that, Aleister, because it's clear to us all that you don't even check your own Twitter account, for Christ's sake, because you missed Randy Orton calling you out on Twitter a few weeks ago, and you're still sat there going, why won't anyone have a match with me? Why am I so lonely? I'm going to die alone. Get a grip, man, Aleister. Just go to the ring. That's what you should do. Bugger Twitter, bugger the coordinates, go to the ring, call somebody out, it'll happen, honest. And that's it for all of your WTF moments from last night's episode of 2 out of 3 falls. Thank you very much for watching this episode of WTF Moments for 2 out of 3 falls. 2 out of 3 falls was good. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.